Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bioverse. Today, we will discuss CBSE Class 12 previous year important questions from Chapter 15, Biodiversity and Conservation. These questions are exam-oriented, frequently asked, and very important for board exams and NEET preparation. So watch till the end, understand the concepts clearly, and boost your confidence. Let's get started. Question 1. Expand IUCN. IUCN stands for International Union for Conservation of Nature. Question 2. What does the term genetic diversity refer to? Genetic diversity refers to the variation of genes within a species. What is its significance? A large genetic diversity helps a population adapt to environmental changes, increases survival chances, and reduces the risk of extinction. Question 3. India has more than 50,000 strains of rice. Which level of biodiversity does this represent? It represents genetic diversity. Question 4. Write the importance of cryopreservation in conservation of biodiversity. Cryopreservation helps in preserving seeds, gametes, and embryos at very low temperatures, maintains genetic material for future use, and helps in conserving endangered species. Question 5. Why is Icaronia crassipus called the terror of Bengal? Because it is an invasive aquatic weed that spreads rapidly, blocks waterways, reduces oxygen levels, and causes serious damage to aquatic ecosystems. Question 6. What is cryopreservation? Give one use. Cryopreservation is the technique of preserving biological materials like seeds, sperm, ova, or embryos at very low temperatures, usually -196 degrees Celsius. It is used to conserve endangered species for future use. Question 7. What is biodiversity? Why is it a matter of concern now? Biodiversity refers to the variety of living organisms present on Earth, including genetic, species, and ecosystem diversity. It is a matter of concern now due to habitat destruction, overexploitation, pollution, climate change, and rapid extinction of species. Question 8. What is alpha and beta diversity in an ecosystem? Alpha diversity refers to the species diversity within a particular area or ecosystem. Beta diversity refers to the change in species diversity between different ecosystems. What is the significance of large genetic diversity in a population? Large genetic diversity increases adaptability, ensures better survival under changing environments, and lowers the risk of extinction. Question 9. What are exotic species? Explain with 2 examples. Exotic species are organisms introduced deliberately or accidentally into areas where they do not naturally occur. For example, Icaronia crassipus grows rapidly and chokes water bodies, reducing oxygen and affecting native aquatic life. Another example is Lantana camara, which invades forests and suppresses the growth of native plant species. Thus, exotic species disturb the natural balance of ecosystems. Question 10. A particular species of wild cat is endangered. Which is the desirable approach to save it from extinction, in situ or ex situ conservation? Justify. The desirable approach is in situ conservation. This is because the species is protected in its natural habitat, where it can interact, breed, and evolve naturally. In situ conservation means conserving species within their natural ecosystems, such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Ex situ means conserving species outside their natural habitats, like zoos, botanical gardens, seed banks, and cryopreservation. ex situ is used when species are critically endangered. Question 11. Biological diversity exists at all levels of organization. Explain any two levels of biodiversity. Genetic diversity refers to variation in genes within a species, for example, different varieties of rice in India. Species diversity refers to the variety of species present in a region, such as plants, animals, and microorganisms. Question 12. Biodiversity must be conserved as it plays an important role in ecosystem services. Explain any two services. First, pollination of crops like insects like bees, which is essential for food production. Second, nutrient cycling and soil formation, which help maintain soil fertility and ecosystem stability. Question 13. Why have certain regions been declared as biodiversity hotspots? Name any two hotspots of India. Biodiversity hotspots are regions with very high species richness and a high degree of endemism, but are under serious threat due to human activities. Two biodiversity hotspots of India are the Western Ghats and the Eastern Himalayas. Question 14. Give two reasons why tropical regions have more species biodiversity than temperate regions. First, tropical regions have had a longer evolutionary time without major disturbances like glaciations, allowing more species to evolve. Second, the stable climate and high solar energy in tropical regions support higher productivity and greater species richness. Question 15. Alien species are a threat to native species. Justify with examples. Alien species are organisms introduced into new areas where they do not naturally occur. For example, the animal African catfish, Clarius gariepinus, preys on native fish species and disturbs aquatic ecosystems. As a plant example, Eichhornia crassipes spreads rapidly, chokes water bodies, and reduces oxygen, causing the decline of native aquatic plants and animals. Question 16. Justify with an example how a deliberate human activity led to the extinction of a species. The passenger pigeon became extinct due to excessive hunting by humans. Large-scale commercial exploitation reduced its population drastically, leading to its complete extinction. Question 17. State the use of biodiversity in modern agriculture. Biodiversity provides genetic resources that help in developing high-yielding, disease-resistant, and stress-tolerant crop varieties. Question 18. Differentiate between in situ and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation means protecting species in their natural habitats, such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Ex situ conservation means conserving species outside their natural habitats, such as zoos, botanical gardens, seed banks, and cryopreservation. In situ conservation allows natural evolution, while ex situ conservation is used when species are critically endangered. Question 19. Explain with an example how extinction causes loss of biodiversity. Also, list three other causes. Extinction leads to a permanent loss of species, which reduces biodiversity and disrupts ecosystems. For example, the passenger pigeon became extinct due to overhunting by humans. Three other causes of biodiversity loss are habitat loss and fragmentation, overexploitation, and invasion by alien species. Question 20. Explain the rivet-popper hypothesis and name the ecologist who proposed it. The rivet-popper hypothesis states that the loss of each species in an ecosystem is like removing rivets from an airplane. Loss of a few species may not show immediate effects, but continuous species loss can cause ecosystem collapse. This hypothesis was proposed by Paul Ehrlich. Question 21. Alien species are highly invasive and threaten indigenous species. Substantiate with any 3 examples. Ecornia crassipus chokes water bodies and reduces oxygen levels. Lantana camara invades forests and suppresses native plants. African catfish, Clarius garapenus, preys on native fish species. Thus, alien species disturb the natural balance of ecosystems. Question 22. List the reasons for greater biological diversity in tropical regions. First, tropical regions have remained undisturbed for long evolutionary periods, allowing more species to evolve. Second, they receive more solar energy and have a stable climate, resulting in higher productivity. Third, tropical environments provide more ecological niches, supporting a greater number of species. Question 23. What are the 2 desirable approaches to conserve biodiversity? Explain with examples. The 2 approaches are in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation involves protecting species in their natural habitats, such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Example, Kaziranga National Park. Ex situ conservation involves protecting species outside their natural habitats, such as zoos, botanical gardens, seed banks, and cryopreservation. Example, zoological parks. Question 24. A. Explain how habitat loss and fragmentation cause biodiversity loss with examples. Habitat loss occurs when natural habitats are destroyed, for example, deforestation of tropical rainforests, leading to the extinction of many species. Habitat fragmentation breaks large habitats into smaller, isolated patches, for example, due to road construction, which reduces breeding and survival of species. Question 24b. Explain 2 different ways of biodiversity conservation. First, in situ conservation, which protects species within natural ecosystems. Second, ex situ conservation, which preserves species outside their natural habitats for future use. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bioverse for more NEET and CBSE biology tips, previous year questions, and easy-to-understand lessons. More important previous year questions are coming soon. Stay tuned, keep learning, and keep exploring Bioverse.